Dr. Cheryl, our sex life is stuck in a rut. Can you help us spice it up? Hi, welcome to this next video in the Fall Back in Love series. Let's get right to it. How many of you resonate with the topic, my sex life is stuck in a rut? Now, you're already pretty lucky if you're having a reasonable sexual life at all. You're going to hear in an upcoming video in a couple weeks that up to 30 to 40% of long-term couples aren't making love at all. But if you are, chances are your sex life looks a lot like what I call Nipple Nipple Crotch Goodnight. It's the routine. It's not a bad routine. There's nothing wrong with meatloaf and mashed potatoes night after night, but you can do better than the usual unimaginative routine that the majority of couples who are still making love fall into in a longer term relationship. Psst, by the way, by long term relationship, I mean you've been together more than 2 years. I'm not talking decades. So, sex life stuck in a rut means you're not bringing imagination to the bedroom, or maybe outside the bedroom. You kind of do what works because it works. I'm not saying that's bad, but at least some of the time, once a month, 1 in 4 encounters, you can figure out how often. I want you to look at spicing things up. Now, we can go radical and 50 shades of crazy, and you can dress up in latex, and you can tie yourself to the bed, and you can pretend to be a cop pulling someone over for speeding, and I'm going to give you some sexual favors to let me go. I'm for all of that if that's in your comfort zone. Absolutely. Role play, imagination, etc. But there's some simpler things that also work for all of us, really. And that's make some damn effort. I mean, come on. Early on in our dating relationship, when we made that beautiful, kind of vulnerable, kind of super exciting choice to move into being sexual together, whether that was on date 1, naughty, naughty, or you waited a while, we kind of tried to bring our A game, didn't we? We were also often less inhibited. It's really strange that we're often less inhibited when we don't know each other as well, and we become more shy and more sexually inhibited as we go along. And here's a psychological reason to explain that for you. When I'm first making love with you early in a relationship, I kind of don't have a lot to lose. I'm not as afraid of you judging me or thinking my sexual requests are silly or strange. If you do, I'm kind of like, whatever. Maybe we're not that compatible. But the more emotionally invested we get, the more we move towards being in love, maybe making the big commitment, starting a family, sex lives go from multicolored to vanilla or non-existent. So to start with, how can you spice it up? Simply start by making a bit more effort. Look, I'm talking about sleep naked. Skin on skin changes your parasympathetic nervous system. It calms you down. It makes you feel more connected. It's different to snuggle and kiss goodnight when your skin is touching your breasts and your chest, or depending, guy, guy, girl, girl, whoever you are, whoever you love, you're my people. But try sleeping naked. Make sure you schedule at least one spicy sexual night once a month. I'll start there. You need a little hint. I really like the new Netflix show. It's called How to Build a Sex Room. Check it out. You'll get some fun ideas. Some of them will be out of your comfort zone, a little bit of flogging, a little bit of spanking. Others are about romance, making beautiful silk sheets on your bed. There are so many ways to spice it up. In fact, for the last 3 weeks of my 12-week immersion couples program, we kick off on November 2nd for the only time this year. I take a deep dive with the couples working with me intimately in that program. They do an inventory of their sexuality right now. Are they making love at all? 30 to 40% of them aren't, and we start there. Those of them that are making love, what do they like? What do they not like? What do they want to try but they're shy to tell their partner? And so much more. We even have a couple of bonus classes on sexuality as we age, mindful sexuality. I teach about tantric sexuality, which isn't about orgies and weirdness. It's about enhancing your orgasm. That can certainly spice things up. But I start with each couple where you are. And for 30 to 40% of the couples in my immersion program, that's not having sex at all. And we start working up slowly, maybe over months, to where we can clear up the blocks so you can become sexual again. For those of you having sex, that's okay. We try to make it way better than okay. And those of you with a pretty robust sexual life, we might take you into some more lustful, exciting, dramatic areas of your sexual lust and love that you've been kind of wanting to explore, but you're nervous to bring up with your partner. So much more. How can you learn more about that? Well, honestly, keep following this Love Bite video list and make sure you join me for the free couples workshops at the end of this month. Let me quickly remind you, there are two really exciting things happening at the end of October. The first is I'll be teaching my free online couples workshop. It's about 90 minutes long. I'm going to teach you the 3 keys to passion. I'm going to answer your questions live and anonymously. You're not on camera, don't worry about that. And I'm going to give you as much personal help as I can, and you'll hear about that. We'll let you know when the doors open. I teach it 4 or 5 times over that week. You can pick the time that works for you and your sweetheart, because it's really great if you can watch it live together. We also give away some really sexy prizes. And that's a lead-in to the big event for a select few couples who will want to join me this year. Only once in 2022. We kick off right at the beginning of November for the 12-week Immersion Become Passion program with me, weekly live help from me, and so much more. You're going to hear all about it. Stay tuned and it will be announced here, but I strongly advise any of you who are already intrigued to get on the wait list. You can do that below. Just click below, read about it. There's a little video there telling you a bit more about the program. There's a great link to some testimonials from couples who've taken the program in the past. But most importantly, we're going to give some extra special gifts away to those of you on the wait list. It's no obligation. It doesn't mean you're going to join the free 90-minute workshop or necessarily the large program, but you'll get a chance to win prizes. I'm going to do some free, very special stuff for those of you on the wait list. You get all my #1 attention because you're the ones that are willing to do what it takes. Take action by joining that wait list if it feels right for you. There is no obligation. But so I can, with that small group of you, jump on Zoom, help you out, do what I can over this month. Thank you for being here. What's the take-home message? Ruts are not good when they're in the middle of your bed. So how can you get out of a sexual rut? First of all, realize you're in one, and realize your love life and your lover deserve more than that. Even though it's only a few hours of your month, your erotic life can bring the incredible special sauce to the love, to the sweetness, and to the reason you were drawn together in the first place. Stay tuned, much more coming your way in this, the month where we remember how to fall back in love.